ang pinakapag-uusapan natin is the term fake news. But to really address the term fake news, dahil ang gusto naman natin gamitin ay ibig sabihin hindi totoo. Kasi na-encompass na yung malinformation, which is actually true, pero iba yung intention. So the appropriate term na gamitin natin ngayon ay false information for news, stories, or even hoax or rumor for the purpose of creating deliberately to deceive someone. Alamin natin kung ano ba yung iba't ibang klase ng false information. No, we no longer use fake news, we will use false information. So the first one is satire or parody. So satire or parody, of course, it means comedy. It can be in a form of art. Of course, it's comedy. Nakakatawa siya. It involves talent sa pagpapatawa. It does not have really an intention to cause harm. However, with the increase of social media users, yung ibang tao naniniwala agad. One perfect example is the social media account of Malacanang Events and Catering Services. So kung titingnan natin, pangalan pa lang, mukha siyang legitimate na website. But if we really try to dig deeper sa loob ng websites niya, it's actually a parody. It's actually a comedic way of addressing issues in our nation. Clickbait is actually an example of a false connection type of misinformation. Here, makakakita tayo dito ng headings, visuals, captions, even the graphics in itself. Kapag tayo, unang kita pa lang natin sa isang material at nakaramdam tayo ng mga sumusunod, na-intriga tayo, na-excite, na-disappoint, nagalit, or na-depress. Sometimes, these are the objective of these creators to really cause instant high of emotion or low emotion para buksan mo yung mga websites nila or yung article nila. Sometimes, kung titingnan naman natin, hindi naman related yung content dun sa pinakalaman ng article. The third example of fake news is what we call the misleading content. Misleading content is trying to use information in such an issue, framing it in a different situation. So dito napapasok yung communication theory na tinatawag nating framing theory. So in my example, kung titignan natin tong picture na to, sa loob ng TV, kung titignan natin siya, yung isang lalaki yung sumasaksak sa isa. Pero kung titignan natin yung mas malawakang frame o yung totoong nangyayari sa labas, it's the other way around. So pwede nilang i-twist yung story. So that's what we call misleading content. Another example is false context. So kung titingnan natin to, this is a perfect example of malinformation. Kasi a false context is actually true. Totoo siya. It's really a genuine information. However, it's shared in a contextual information na hindi totoo. I'll give a perfect example. Students often search the internet to look for kung may suspension ba ng classes. So, one time, nakita ko, may nag-circulate na hashtag walang pasok on March 2, 2019. So, titingnan ng mga tao, nakita lang nila March 2, hashtag walang pasok. So, totoo talagang nanggaling yun sa isang authoritative source. Pero titingnan natin, March 2, 2019, of course, we are now in another year. So, it can be that intention of misleading or making a false context of actually a genuine information. Another is an imposter content. Imposter content is actually genuine sources of information are impersonated. Perfect example here are actually creating domain names o mga pangalan ng websites. I'll give you one example. We have here www.gma-tv.com when in fact it's masquerading as if it's the actual gmanetwork.com/news. Yun yung totoo. Pero minsan dahil nakita natin na ganun yung pangalan niya, parang totoo na siya. So marami yan makikita natin minsan. But of course, we have to really evaluate. Now, ang pang-6 naman natin na example ng false information is what we call manipulated content. So by definition, manipulated content is when a genuine information or source of information is manipulated in terms of, like, let's say, inedit siya to deceive para manloko. A perfect example here is isang viral na picture. So, kung titignan natin siya, nakakatakot, nakakadiri. Kapag gumamit ka raw ng certain brands ng shampoo, ganyan yung mararamdaman ng skin mo or ng sabon. Actually, it's actually a manipulated content dahil yung mga holes na nakita natin kanina is actually holes of a lotus which are seed heads of a lotus flower. Now, it causes what we call, kaya nakadevelop sila ng term na trypophobia, which which refers to fear of small hole patterns. And the last type of false information is the fabricated content. So by definition, this fabricated content is 100% new and 100% false. Meaning sinadyang siyang gawin, sinadyang ipeke yung isang content ng information na yun para manloko. Perfect example that gumamit ng CGI is this video that shows an eagle picking up a child. Totoo ba talaga siya? When in fact, if you try to dig deeper to this video, it's not true. It's a perfect example of a fabricated content.